Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back and happy Easter. And as we head into Easter Sunday, some stormy weather likely. Portions of Louisiana into Mississippi and Alabama. We have big storms out there now. And there is a fairly substantial severe weather threat for Acadiana, but the models are not showing a whole lot of storms. But whatever storms we see could go severe in a short period of time. So let's get into it and talk about what we have going on. You can see the storms erupting across Texas and Oklahoma this evening. We've pulled out the old enhanced satellite imagery channel, and you can see supercell thunderstorm in southwestern Oklahoma here just north of the Red River, and then one down in Texas entering the western part of the Texas Hill Country just northeast of Del Rio. And these, look at that little spike right there. That's a severe storm, likely producing damaging winds, perhaps a tornado, and the same with this cell up here in Oklahoma. And this is all out ahead of an area of low pressure and upper level low. It's energizing the subtropical jet stream, and that's all swinging this way like a bowling ball coming down the alley. So it's going to be an interesting next 24 hours, or even a little bit less than that. All is going to be over with here locally, but the shouting by about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Severe thunderstorm watch up in Oklahoma, and they have a big warning for that cell that we just showed you up by the Red River. And then farther to the south, just a new severe thunderstorm warning within a large tornado watch area across the Texas Hill Country. And I do expect tornado watches for Louisiana tomorrow, so plan on that for sure, maybe issued by mid-morning or so. This is that severe weather threat. We're in an enhanced severe weather risk, maybe a little bit lower near the coast. The Gulf of Mexico is usually a saving factor, but we can't count on it with the Gulf being so warm for this time of year. It's got some May-like temperatures here in not even quite mid-April. And even away from the storms, the possibility of 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's going to be a gusty, blustery day because we have a deep area of low pressure that is developing off to our north. So you'll see the pressure lines getting closer together. Storms ongoing first thing in the morning, eastern Texas, then moving into the northeastern part of the state. These storms could be severe, could see a couple of tornadoes there, and more energy coming in as the afternoon wears on. And it's going to be windy across our area. Whether we see storms or not, notice the NAM model not showing much going on. Here we are at noon, and then 1 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock, and then maybe something may get going. But I think the models are underestimating that severe weather potential locally, and I think we're going to see a lot more in the way of storms across the area. And of course, the northern part of the state into Mississippi certainly going to get slammed. Cool front gets here by Monday morning, and we're back to much nicer weather as we go into next week. Another cool front's going to cool us down further as we get deeper into the week. Now, here's the high-resolution rapid refresh model indicating a few storms that we might even have to keep an eye on first thing in the morning. The big action, this is looking a little bit more verifiable up across the I-20 corridor, Cenla on northward, and then locally, once again, a little bit of a cap on the atmosphere, maybe some sunshine mixed in, but watch what happens here. Here we have the main frontal boundary, but watch from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, boom, storms initiate. And where will they initiate? Will it be back here to the west or off to the east, which is often the case, but there is going to be certainly some storms that we're going to have to keep an eye on as we go through tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening. So as we look at the wind profile with height, we see that the winds will be increasing with height and also veering, turning clockwise. So surface winds here, this is the winds at about 5,000 feet, so we could see some of these winds mixing down in any storms that we see. That's why it's going to be a rough day for tomorrow afternoon. That jet stream pushing 160 miles an hour by late tomorrow afternoon, but after the severe weather threat. Here's the helicity. Where are we going to have the spin going on in the atmosphere? Mainly, it looks like eastern Louisiana and central Louisiana, and then into Mississippi, and we derive from that the potential for tornadoes as well. And as we look ahead to tomorrow morning, it's going to be rough, perhaps western Louisiana. That's if there are storms. And then watch what happens as we get into Mississippi. So there is likely going to be a tornado outbreak, especially north and east of our area, but something that we will be keeping an eye on. And on top of that, the winds, they start out gusting to 25. These are wind gusts, 40, 45 mile an hour winds tomorrow afternoon, maybe a few gusts to 50, and the European model is going for a few up to 60. So batten down the hatches. We could see some localized localized power outages and maybe some trees going down as well. So something to watch. 70 the low tonight, temperature steady and humidity on the way up. 83 the high tomorrow. Maybe a little sun in between. About a 70% chance of rain, maybe a 40% chance of severe storms, but I would expect a tornado watch for tomorrow. And as we go into early next week and beyond, some nice looking weather to follow with highs in the 70s, maybe even the 60s on Wednesday, and overnight lows nice and fresh, 40s and 50s, before we warm up back next weekend and maybe more storms to come. That's it for weather for right now. We'll be right back right after this.